Well, good afternoon. I am excited that we are about to kick off our luncheon in honor of our Principal for the Day event, and appreciate if everyone would come in and take a seat. If you've not had an opportunity to get food, we still have buffets on both sides, so feel free to grab anything as you're coming to sit. My name is Candace McQueen, and I am the new president here at Lipscomb University. Thank you. I have been here, I think, going on 6 weeks, so it's a pleasure to welcome you to our campus and to host you today, and look forward to being with you during this lunch. I am also a proud board member of Pencil. So I should say, before I was the commissioner several years ago, I served as a Pencil board member, and then Angie asked me back. And so I have been back as a board member about a year, and I'm thrilled that I can partner directly with such a fantastic person like Angie in this work. And I'll introduce her in a moment. But I do want to say to this group, it has always been a pleasure to work directly with K-12. That is where I've spent a lot of my time and energy and effort. And in particular, if you served as a principal today or got a version of this through virtual, you know how exciting it is to be a principal. My mother was a school principal. I know Dr. Battle was a principal. I believe it is the best job in K-12 education because it is the job where you have that great tight connection with the students and the teachers, but you have this really interesting place with administration, and you get to translate all the things that might be coming to you where students and teachers and parents can own it. You're a critical cog in the wheel of reform. You're critical in making sure things move forward, and you're critical in making sure the community is all moving in the same direction for academic success for our students. So thrilled that you were able to experience some of that today, and that we're here together to welcome you to our campus. And without further ado, I do want to welcome to the stage our Pencil President and CEO, Angie Adams.
It is such a pleasure to know Dr. McQueen and to get to work with her in all of her different roles. Although it is my disappointment that she was about to become the board chair when she got to be commissioner, and so still missing out on her being our board chair. So thank you, Candace, for letting us be here. We were first in this space 2 years ago. Craig Bledsoe, provost of Lipscomb, is also a board member and welcomed us to this space a couple of years ago. So glad to be back here today. Also very thankful for support from Southwest Airlines, who you know they are always with us, and we might have something to share with you later from Southwest. We are welcoming BKD as a sponsor this year, Cat Financial, and Nashville Electric Service. And thanks to all of you for giving your time today. I think taking the time to be a guest principal and experiencing what it's like inside a school building, that is a commitment that you as a community member have made to get to be a part of your community, know what these leaders in our community are dealing with, and hopefully become a great advocate for them. So certainly Pencil believes that community engagement is critical to our students' success. So we work hard to recruit businesses and community organizations to partner with our schools, whether it's doing high impact tutoring in math or literacy, whether it's recruiting businesses to host virtual job shadows and field trips, or whether it's having a business come to our location and sort school supplies that we can distribute to teachers. It's all very critical to supporting our students and teachers in their work. And we realize that every school is unique, as you all discovered today, and every business is unique. So our role is to make just the right match so that it can be magic when those two organizations come together. So I do want to introduce our mayor as our next speaker, and I will say that hopefully you have been just as pleased as I that our mayor is such a strong advocate for public education and for our educators. I think we have certainly seen some huge dedication from him in terms of supporting our teachers and their work. So I am now excited to welcome Mayor Cooper.
Thank you, Angie. It's a great treat to be here. I think we have some superstar partners in the House, which I know Councilman Allen and Aaron Evans are here. Any other council people here? Oh my gosh, join, stand up. These council people, and I'm going to ask Dr. Battle, I think she'll agree with me. There's unprecedented support from the city and from the Council for Schools. And I'm grateful to all the council members, these three in particular, for being here today, but for being part of this, the challenge ahead, and meeting the challenge ahead by supporting our schools. Never been more important, and it's great principal for a day. I want to thank the pencil team for bringing everybody together. Last year I got to spend a day with Principal Lawless at Napier and being principal for a day. What a rock star we have in her, and Dr. Battle's creating a rock band, no, a rock symphony. And that's what we need. Now, it's a very shrewd move with public officials, I will say, and principal for a day is letting you read with younger students, and so your heart melts, and then you know what your mission is thereafter. Great strategy for letting officials read. But it's not just Napier, it's other schools in Davidson County, principals, and we need to appreciate our principals. Oh my gosh, Brenda Haywood, she's the, she sits right across from me downtown, and we all look at her every day and go, what something good did we get done today? So Brenda will be pleased with this. She's in charge of getting the good stuff done. The principals are central to doing this. We've learned this in the pandemic. The pandemic is a bit of a crisis, but in the end, we're going to learn from it. I mean, we've solved the digital divide. We got everybody laptops. We did 10 years of kind of digital work, maybe in 1 year. It was hard to do, but yes, but think what we put our principals through. Think what we put our teachers through. Think what we put our kids through. And the Dr. Battle's plan for individual learning loss remediation is fundamental. And that's another challenge, but we've been up to it. We've been doing a lot of challenges. And is COVID the toughest period of time that Metro Schools has ever had? I don't know, but it's up there. But it's the teachers, the families, everybody else that is doing this. Now, we're going to be challenged in the weeks ahead, I believe, by the state, frankly, in terms of what we can do to keep kids safe, vaccinations, masks, but we should not be deterred. We know what the right thing to do is here, and just basic human decency towards each other has been a tool that we've used in Nashville to save, this is going to sound dramatic, but it's statistically quite true, thousands of lives. And this is no time to stop. You still have the Delta. If we could only get from 58%. The Honolulu, Hawaii, by the way, is 95% vaccinated. It is possible if there's just a consistent message and you don't have pushback. You can do the right thing. Public health is, in fact, not that hard intellectually. It's just hard to get accomplished sometimes. Everybody knows the right thing. But our schools have been leaders. Our schools have had to take an awful lot of the challenge of this in order to keep kids safe. And our schools have been up to the challenge, not deterred, not, responsive and listening to parents. And the whole narrative, I will have to say, is, parents versus the school board. Our school board is elected by parents. Our teachers listen to parents. I mean, our parents are our fundamental deliverable in creating a great system going forward. But we need unity, vision, partnership, and you got that with the Metro Council. And again, with 3 council people here, let's just thank them for fully funding the school board request for the first time in a generation. They got that done. And funding almost 90 social emotional advocacy centers in our elementary schools to help support kids as they're emerging from a rough year right now. And another thing, let's thank the council. They got the teachers the best paid in the state of Tennessee in 1 year. In 1 year. Now, and Dr. Battle has been a great partner for the city, and going forward, we're creating a platform to make unprecedented progress in education. Now, we're going to have some challenges. The state's education funding plan probably does not have us in mind. Just saying, I hope they do, but they may not, but we're going to be up to that challenge too. And getting the school funding formula right, and one that supports us, the engine room of the state, and our special needs that we have and our city is going to be important to the state's future. If you want to know a bright future in the state of Tennessee, you're looking at it right now because it's going to rely on the education system in Davidson County. Now, Davidson County has the brightest possible future. We are rated #1, let me share this with the council members, from the Urban Land Institute in real estate market in the country. The Urban Land Institute had to create a special category called supernovas, of which us, Austin, and Raleigh-Durham are the 3 in the country, and Nashville is at the top of that list in real estate supernovas. How we harness that growth and energy, how we repurpose it back to education, to supporting our school system, something that you all, every one of you, is dedicated to doing today, is the challenge of the years ahead. So thank you. Thank you all. We're on the rise, but we need to be a city that works, which is hard, a city that works for everybody. And that means all our children. That means all our children. Not some of the children, all of our children. That means all of our people. That means everywhere to be invested in and to take this moment of unprecedented investment into Nashville to be able to make unprecedented investments in our people to create a better future. It's very simple. It's just hard to do. And it's hard to do in an environment with social media and grievancing and negativity and fault finding. And I'm grateful to all of you in this journey for getting it done for us ahead. We know what to do. I'm grateful to the council and their terrific leadership in beginning this journey together and getting this done. Berkeley Allen is chair of our budget committee, and that's going to be a great year ahead with our new finance director, who is a great professional herself. I'm just so excited about the two working together with how do we help Dr. Battle in mind, and how can all of us come together to help Dr. Battle in mind. So anyway, thank you for letting me share all of this today. Thank you for inviting me to one of the things that's really one of the favorite events in a year, and this principle of a day. Thank the school system for letting us all experience that big heart that drives our educational system. And again, the experience of being able to read with youngsters is just this great, intense joy. Thank you all very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Cooper, again, for your commitment, unwavering commitment to providing for and investing in our education system and doing everything that you can, Metro Council as well, for providing the resources needed to educate all of our MNPS students. Greatly appreciate all of you and for your continued commitment and collaboration to make our district the premier large school district in Tennessee and beyond. Good afternoon, everyone. I also want to take a moment to thank Angie and her team for once again putting on a great event. And I know I don't tend to make things easy, but I'm so proud that for the first time we have all of our schools participating in Principal for a Day, because it is important that we open up our doors and we showcase the greatness of all of our leaders in all of our schools during our Principal for a Day event. Also, thank you to President McQueen and Lipscomb for hosting us today, and to all of your sponsors for your support. Dr. McQueen is another great partner, thought leader in education, not only at the higher ed level, but also in the K-12 space. So thank you for all of your work, and thank you to anyone who had a hand in coordinating this event today. Most of all, thank you to each one of you who are here today and all of our community leaders and partners who participated in Principal for a Day, and for spending the day with our principals, just showcasing their amazing work. And I also want to thank and acknowledge School Board Member Emily Masters, who is here with us, and she did serve as a Principal for a Day at Hunters Lane today. So thank you for your continued advocacy and commitment to MNPS and to all of our district students. Again, we're thrilled to be able to host you in our schools, even if only virtually for now, so that you can see what Metro schools are all about. And we are thrilled in your interest in our school system as well. I hope today you got a good sense of how a school operates and how the principal is the CEO, the head coach, the administrator, the conductor, the traffic cop, or maybe the eye of the hurricane is the best way to put it. A principal's job was busy and challenging enough before we ran up against a global pandemic for which we had no playbook. There were so many new questions to answer, puzzles to solve, and logistical challenges to meet. A few of our principals also had to deal with the damaging tornado right before we had to close our buildings back in March of 2020. It forced some of our schools to have to relocate. Of course, the global pandemic forced us all into the virtual space. There was no playbook, but our principals led with grace, with consistency, and just a command of keeping everything in front of them in a student-first fashion. Our principals adjusted. They refocused and committed and continued to lead. They never lost sight of our mission at MNPS. And we know that our mission is to make every MNPS student known, cared for, and on a path for success. See, that's our commitment to our students and their families. We will know and understand them as unique and interesting individuals and help them get where they need to be. Help them get where they're capable of going in their college pathways, their career pathways, and in life. And our principals, those you spent some time with today, are the heart of their work. I've had a lot of titles and positions in my career, but I'll never be prouder of my time as a principal. Those years are dear to my heart, and as President McQueen mentioned earlier, it is a fabulous role because you are a teacher leader. You also are serving as an administrator and advocating for every student and family that you serve in your learning community. To reach our North Star, we know that we have to play the whole game, which starts with integrating our core tenets, our signature initiatives, and our focus outcomes. Our principals' leadership in schools help bring these elements together to ensure MNPS students can also play the whole game. Todd Whitaker reminds us that great principals have clarity about who they are, what they do, and how others perceive them. Today, our community members had the chance to see all of that on display. I hope what you've seen today will make you want to come back to Metro Nashville Public Schools for more. Your investment of time and energy in our schools means a great deal to our students, to our staff, and to our principals. And we would love to have you come back to tutor, to volunteer, or to read to a student. And just a quick plug here, we have launched our largest tutoring program in our history with our high dosage tutoring, and we're still recruiting and training tutors to support and serve our students. And if you need any help with that, Pencil will facilitate any of those opportunities for you, right, Angie? All right. So reach out to Pencil, and they're a great partner to us and will support you in any way. Again, thank you all for making the time to learn about our schools and spend time with our principals this morning. And thank you once more to our principals. Let's give them a round of applause for their leadership and their work. All right, so I'm getting excited because I believe next we're going to hear from some of our principals who are leading their school communities to greatness and keeping at the forefront that MNPS will ensure that every student is known, cared for, and on a path to success. Thank you all, and Angie, I'll turn it back over to you.
And thank you for your leadership, Dr. Battle, and for continuing to dream. I love it when she texts me on the weekends with some new dream. She's going to keep me employed for a long time. So I am so lucky that Pencil's current board chair is Norman Merrifield. Norman is an MNPS parent and a former MNPS classroom teacher, and I was able to recruit him to our board after seeing him lead a professional development session for MNPS. Norman founded his own professional development company, 808 Education, and roped me in the instant I saw him providing some PD for our principals and teachers many years ago at this point. So welcome, Norman, and our virtual principal panel.
Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you, Angie, for the warm introduction. I am so thrilled to moderate today's conversation and to give us one more chance to spend a little bit more time with amazing MMPS leaders. And I would like to introduce our panelists today. First, Angela Bailey, principal of McGavick High School. That's a virtual clap. Dr. Cheryl Bowman, principal of Schwab Elementary School. And Dr. Jeremy Lewis, principal of Croft Middle Design Center. So let's start with Principal Bailey. Principal Bailey, what does a typical day look like for you? And is there such thing as a typical day at McGavick High School?
As a principal and as a teacher in general, I don't know that you can ever say there is a typical day anywhere in education. When I thought of this question, it made me think of my first principal here when I taught here at McGavick, Dr. Baltimore. And I was a very type A teacher. And he said, Ms. Bailey, every day we firmly place our feet on shifting sand based on the needs of our students. And to me, there's no truer statement than that as far as typical. We come in with a plan. We have to intentionally plan for what we want to accomplish for the day, but we have to meet the needs of our students as we're doing that. So that intentionality of typical and what you do with it is unique in our business. There's never a boring time in education.
Yes. Yeah. Can you tell us something about that's unique about McGavick and the population you serve so well, and just your work as a high school leader?
Well, we have a little over 2,100 students here at McGavick, 5 academies, and each one of those students are very unique in what they bring to us as well as our faculty. So just McGavick has gone back and forth as one of the largest schools in the state. Depending on what's happening in Memphis, we go back and forth with that often. But it's a large community-focused population. This community has always been a very strong community. They work well together, and so we try to encourage that each and every day.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your leadership and the amazing work that you are doing at McGavick. Dr. Bowman, at Schwab Elementary, you speak a lot about caring for each student like they are your own child. Why is that so important in your role, and how has the pandemic deepened that commitment of care?
Norman, first of all, I think my first calling is that I'm standing loco parentis instead of the parent. And I think that especially during this pandemic, they can't come in the building. I have our school at Schwab, we have students ages 3 through about 11, so grades pre-K through 5th. They've never come in the building. They have to entrust me that what's going to happen in this building, that their babies are going to be safe, cared for, and educated at high standards. And so every day that we walk in this door, my number one goal is that parents, you can trust me. I'm going to take care of them, and I'm going to make sure that they get a A+ education each and every day.
Mm-hmm. And I've had the pleasure of visiting Schwab, so I know the energy that exists in your school. What's something that you've thought about from the business community that maybe we could do more of to help at Schwab Elementary?
Well, one of the things that we do a great job of growing our students, and we're working on getting that achievement where it needs to be, but we never can have enough volunteers, and boys and girls can never have enough role models. So tutoring is always something that we value, and just always having individuals to come in and so kids can see what the possibilities are, where people have made a mark in their respective fields. And these are things that they can aspire for. So always, doors are always open, and we're always willing, whatever somebody in the community can think of that they might want to partner and do in a school, we're willing to try it out. So come on over to 1500 Dickerson Pike.
1500 Dickerson Pike. The families and community of Schwab are really lucky to have you. Thank you for your energy, your insight, and your leadership, Dr. Bowman. Dr. Lewis, middle school leadership. Amazing. This is your 6 year as executive principal, your 8th year overall at Croft Middle. If you could go back in time, Bill and Ted, right? If you could go back in time and share an important leadership lesson with you in your first year, what would that lesson be?
Well, before answering your question first, thank you for having us today. I want to give a shout out to Payne Ray from Main Street, Nashville. He was Croft's guest principal today, and we had a great time this morning meeting each other, talking about the school, and then we ended it with a pep rally this morning. So, and then to get back to your question. In middle school, it is always an excellent adventure for your Bill and Ted reference there. But I would tell myself two things. Number one, I think that we are inclined to do what comes natural and what comes easy to us. And for me, it has always been building relationships with students. And so that was the easy thing. And I always had the idea of and being intentional about teacher support, but really moving into about year 3 to 4, especially as we got into the COVID pandemic, I really saw the importance of first and foremost supporting teachers. And so just learning that lesson and carrying that with me on a daily basis, that my first and foremost job and task is to do everything that I can do to support, to cheer on our teachers, and to equip our teachers so that then they can do the exact same thing for their students, and just understanding that through line. And then the second lesson that I would share with myself that I've learned throughout the years is the importance of leaning on colleagues. It can be a lonely position in leadership at times. However, there are some fantastic principals and colleagues here in MNPS, and we all have different situations with different schools, but we do share some commonalities. So just another shout out to the middle school South principals. I love my network team, and I love the principals with whom I am able to collaborate.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Lewis. And very much like what you shared with us, the purpose of Principal for a Day is to build relationships, stronger relationships, and innovative relationships between the business community and MNPS schools. And much like Dr. Battle also says, we want to be a resource for people to lean on, because you never know when you're going to need to lean on somebody. And that is a mutual relationship that we love to have between the business community and MNPS. And today is our day to celebrate it. So thank you so much for sharing more about your work, and just for investing so much in the future of this amazing supernova city. So we're going to pass it back to my fellow pencil board member. Blake I'm not sure if Blake is there. Thank you. My name is Norman Merrifield. I'm honored to serve as board chair, and this is Principal for a Day.
Hello, everyone. It is fantastic to be here today. Thank you, Norman. Isn't he a ball of energy, right? Love me some Norman, I'm telling you what. And thank you for the panelists. I always learn something new when I hear from principals, and I learned a lot this morning being a virtual principal. It was an amazing experience. I was incredibly nervous, so nervous that I forgot my deodorant. I forgot to put it on, but it's okay. See, I'm a transparent guy, right? But it's okay because I keep an extra stick at the office. So we were all good. We're all good now. But it's something that I really wasn't prepared for, right? Because it is a really big job. Now, I'm the son of a retired elementary school teacher. I'm a product of public school system, and I have 3 daughters in Metro National Public School System right now. 1 at Sylvan Park and 2 at West End. Go Blue Jays, today's homecoming. My daughter's in the pep band. I'm really pumped about watching her at the football game at 5:15 today. So, so I do know a little bit about the public school system. And I also work for Creative Artist Agency, who's been a pencil partner at Whitsitt Elementary School for 21 years. I was a reading tutor for about 7 years, and then kind of switched my service to Whitsitt and other in the Pencil Foundation in other ways. And I also lead a fundraising effort to put laundry machines in public schools. And I've been doing that for several years just so kids can have ready access to clean clothes, because that's a real issue. And I won't go into depth in it right now. I'm passionate about it, but if you want to know more about it, see me afterwards. We've done 24 schools. We're getting geared up for the 25th, and I'm going to do something really fun and exciting, maybe some sort of celebration or something. So we'll think about that. But so you might know that our friends at Southwest Airlines are long-term pencil partners, right? And they're leading career opportunities in the Aviation Academy at McGavick and sharing their love with teachers through our Together for Teachers Supply project each year. They also love surprises. So do I, and so should you. So every principal who participated today and every guest principal has their names in one of these two fancy buckets right here by Miss Kelly. She's holding them. That's right. Somebody's going to win something. So I have the pleasure of drawing one lucky winner from each, and that winner receives 2 round-trip air vouchers courtesy of Southwest Airlines. Let's get pumped up, everyone. Fantastic, right? All right, so it says here, Blake first draws a principal name from bucket 1. That's what I'm going to do. Here we go. Da-da-da-da-da. Principal Lily Leffler. Principal Lily Leffler. They're all virtual. Are they watching? I want to congratulate her. Give her a virtual high five. Woo! All right. Number 2. I'm supposed to pick the second one. Okay. Here we go. Drops lilies. Okay. Here we go. Lamar Allen. Principal Lamar Allen. What's that? Volunteer. We've got a volunteer. Fantastic. Thank you for participating, Lamar. And Sandra Harris from Pencil Team will share the ticket details with you all. And before we let you continue to eat and mingle, please know that you can stay engaged with the school you visited today through Pencil. Through partnership with a company or individual volunteer supporting students' academic and career interest. We'll share a follow-up email with those opportunities. Thank you again for participating. Thank you for caring about our kids, and have a wonderful day.